Hello and what's up, YouTube? We are 11 days, 5 hours, 23 minutes, and 57 seconds away from Path of Exile's newest challenge, League and Content Drop 3.3, Path of Exile Incursion. Every day we are counting down the days, counting down the hours, and showing you a little bit of the announcements and the different things to get excited about, to get hyped about for the newest League and Content expansion update for Path of Exile. Today we're going to do a little bit more of a focus on the business aspect of Grinding Gear Games, the company that makes Path of Exile, as there was big news over the weekend to some ownership issues and who holds the majority share of Path of Exile's company, its production company, Grinding Gear Games. And the big news, of course, is that,
let's say China. China.
Path of Exile is now owned in its majority stakeholders by a Chinese company, one of the 5 largest companies actually in the internet industry in the world, and what some people have rated and done the business analytics of saying it is the biggest social media company in the world, Tencent. So what is Tencent? Let's talk about this. We're actually going to talk a little bit about the announcement that PoE made, that Grinding Gear Games made, about getting selling off majority share to Tencent. So we're going to talk about that in this video. And then if you want to see some more info about who Tencent is and other games that they own and a little bit about their gaming history, there will be another video that I'm going to link here. So let's talk a little bit about how this directly relates to Path of Exile. So the announcement, the official announcement from Chris, the lead developer over at Chris Wilson over at Grinding Gear Games. Tencent has invested in Grinding Gear Games. Our Chinese publisher, Tencent, has acquired a majority stake in Grinding Gear Games. We will remain an independent company, and there won't be any big changes to how we operate. We want to assure the community that this will not affect the development and operations of Path of Exile. So we have prepared answers to some questions you may have about this investment. Why Tencent? Why not another company? Tencent is one of the largest companies in the world and also one of the largest game publishers in the world. Tencent owns giant franchises like League of Legends and Clash of Clans, and has a strong reputation for respecting the game design decisions of developers and studios they invest in, allowing a high level of autonomy in continuing to operate and develop their games. We have been approached by many potential acquirers over the last 5 years, but always felt that they didn't understand Path of Exile, or that they had other agendas, like signing users up for their services. Tencent's agenda is clear: to give us the resources to make Path of Exile as good as it can be. Is Grinding Gear Games becoming part of Tencent? Grinding Gear Games is still an independently run company in New Zealand. All of its developers still work for Grinding Gear Games and have not become Tencent employees. The founders, Chris, Jonathan, and Eric, are still running the company, just like we have been for the last 11 years. Going forward, we will have financial reporting obligations to Tencent, but this will have minimal impact on our philosophy and operations. Will Tencent try to change Path of Exile? No. We spoke to CEOs of other companies that Tencent has invested in and have been assured that Tencent has never tried to interfere with game design or operations outside of China. We retain full control of Path of Exile and will only make changes that we feel are best for the game. Will Path of Exile become pay to win? No. Period. We will not make any changes to its monetization on our international servers. Will Grinding Gear Games prioritize the Chinese version of Path of Exile? The Chinese version of Path of Exile currently has its release a few weeks after the international version. We are working hard to reduce this gap so that they come out closer together or even simultaneously, but are not planning to prioritize the Chinese version of Path of Exile ahead of the international version. We want to treat all of our customers equally without any of them being frustrated at missing features or delayed releases. Will the Chinese version get some features ahead of the international one? We will develop almost all features on our international version, but sometimes Tencent will request features that they want to try in the Chinese version that we don't plan to roll into the international version. If those features turn out to be a really good fit for both versions, then we of course will port them back into the international version. Will I have some type of Tencent account to log in? No. Nothing is changing with the way you access Path of Exile on the international servers. What's next for Grinding Gear Games? A lot more Path of Exile. We're committed to our current schedule of 4 releases per year and we will have some really big plans for future expansions. If you like what we've done so far, you'll love what we're working on next, as well as multiple 3.x expansions. So in other words, multiple 3 point whatever. Typically there have been like about 7 or 8 each year. But anyway, multiple 3.x expansions in 2018 and 2019, and we've just started development on 4.0, which is currently targeted to enter beta testing in early 2020. Posted by Chris Wilson, who is, for all intents and purposes, Grinding Gear Games figurehead and leader and marketing guy and game developer. So there you go. That's the announcement. Tencent is now the majority shareholder. What does that mean? The discussion that is already raging all over Reddit, all over the Discord channel for PoE, the official Discord channel, has as soon as they made the announcement, they made a subset text section, just a text channel, just for people to talk about this decision. It's called 2C on 10C. So what's your 2 cents on Tencent? So you can check that out over on the Path of Exile Discord. There's a lot of discussion going on over there. It's been pretty much nonstop since the announcement was made. There's a lot of discussion going on the official forums as well as on Reddit. There's some people who are tearing their hair out, other people who are, putting out proverbial fires with buckets of internet water. And then there are folks in between that are skeptical, folks that are asking about supporter packs, lots of different things. So if you've got questions or you want to react to this news, feel free to do so in the comments below. We're going to come out with another video that's going to talk a little bit more about who Tencent is and what potentially this might mean for Path of Exile in the future, as well as some of the companies that Tencent has bought into in the past. So get hype. We are, again, 11 days away from our Path of Exile Incursion League, and I'm still excited, and we're going to be doing another video today as well, going over the trap highlights and the trap changes. So if you're interested in the skill gems that are coming out for trap support and the new traps that are coming out, go ahead and click on the link below, and we'll also have more content for you today on that.